Sting. When this guy comes down to the ring, you can be sure of one thing, that he's going to cause some serious damage. His opponent for tonight, he is one of the Horsemen, Dean. Oh man, the crowd is going nuts!
Look, if there's one thing I've learned in my time among you humanoids, it's that the human race reached its peak with Bobby the Brain Heenan. And that's why I don't understand this. This is a wrestling game that had commentary from Bobby the Brain Heenan, but removed that commentary for the Nintendo 64 version. I mean, like who thought that was a good... And why? Like, why would you ever do that? You never subtract Bobby Heenan. You see, it's crap like that. That's why WCW went out of business. Well, that and David Arquette. And the finger poke of doom. And pinning Goldberg by taser. All right, you know what? We could do this all day. It's WCW Mayhem.
Looks like he's hurt badly. Someone call the match off. Great move off the top rope. He's going to try and end it right here.
You know, I hate to pick on WCW. I really do. I mean, after the Montreal Screwjob, I was legit done with WWF. I wanted to make the switch, and I did. But WCW made it so hard to stay. I mean, everything they did right was sandwiched between the stale, moldy bread of things they did wrong. I mean, you do realize they had Bret Hart, and yet you'd be forgiven for thinking, wait, WCW had Bret Hart? But if they had Bret Hart, wouldn't I remember that? Wouldn't they have done something really cool with Bret Hart? No. I mean, why would you do that when you have Karl Malone? In fact, toward the end, I think the best thing about WCW was the video games. That's one good thing they left behind. I mean, Revenge is one of the best wrestling games ever. And this one's pretty good too. And if I sound surprised, it's because Mayhem was not created by the Aki Corporation, a studio that at the time was doing all the best wrestling games. No, Mayhem was created by Kodiak Interactive, which really sounds like some jabroni studio. And then when you hear it was published by EA, oh, then you're really expecting the DDT of disappointment. But no, it really is better than you might think.
Uh-oh! Looks like these men are going to be joined in the ring!
So to start with the good, Mayhem is definitely packed with content. I mean, you're getting a huge roster here. More than 60 wrestlers, which is ridiculous. As well as 15 actual WCW stage sets to choose from, like Nitro, Thunder, Bash at the Beach. Seriously, there's a ton of crap here. And since it's WCW, I mean that in pretty much every way possible. But seriously, it's pretty impressive stuff. And actually, it's not just the amount of stuff, but it's also how well it's done. I mean, Mayhem looks really good for its age. The character models are impressive, the animations are excellent, the game just looks sharp. In fact, this one looks noticeably sharper and clearer than even some of the Aki games. So at least in terms of the presentation, Mayhem delivers. And you know, I think the thing that impressed me the most is how well the game runs. Seriously, Mayhem looks great in motion, and the animations especially. I mean, some of the moves, it just looks awesome. And when you combine the quality of the motion capture with the game's smoothness, and the fact that, the wrestlers actually look like the wrestlers, I mean, this was pretty impressive for 1999. Like, I wouldn't say Mayhem plays better than Revenge, but it absolutely looks better. I think the in-ring stuff is just a lot more crisp.
He didn't get him! Standing drop kick. He's reeling from the attack.
Boy, we kind of glossed over that one, though, that Revenge still plays better. Because Revenge still plays better. And it's not that Mayhem plays poorly or anything. I mean, you're doing moves by pressing buttons in combination with directions. It feels fine. For some reason, it's just not as much fun. I don't know, it's not as tight or enjoyable. And maybe that's just the memories talking. I'm not sure. But I remember having way more fun with the Aki games, like Revenge and No Mercy, than I did with this one. This one's just okay. It's like if the Aki games were the magic genie of wrestling games, Mayhem feels like Jafar. He's trying to manipulate the genie to his own ends. And sure, Jasmine, she looks good in red, but... Alright, that got to a weird place. I don't know. I just happen to be watching Aladdin while I review this. And Jasmine does look good in red. It's true. You know, in a lot of ways, Mayhem is about as WCW as it gets. It does a lot of things exceptionally well. The game runs great, it looks good, there's plenty of content, you can take Sting versus The Undertaker into your own hands. I mean, obviously these are good things. But then you try to create a wrestler, it's like, it's not as good as the other games. And you play with some friends and they're like, hey, can we just play Revenge instead? And you're like, hey, go f*** yourselves, it's my birthday, we'll play what I want. And then everyone leaves. You spend the rest of the day alone at the window. Whatever. It's WCW Mayhem for the Nintendo 64. A huge thanks to our pal Chris from Jersey City, New Jersey, who sent this to the show amongst the gigantic box of wrestling games. Hey, thanks, Chris. That one makes up for all the birthdays. Man, this review took us to some dark places, but I guess that's WCW for you.
What an unbelievable move! 3, that's it!
The winner by pinfall.